Man, I don't know if I just figured it out or I have some sort of cheat code, but whatever's happening on TikTok is on a whole nother level for us, folks. Let me tell you, things are popping off, and I'm not even exaggerating it. I am getting more views on my videos than people with like 100, not even 100,000, 1 million subscribers. If you're not over at TikTok and following me, you're missing something, man. I am not blowing smoke up your tush. If you're not over there, it is popping off. I'm telling you, folks, I was getting before like 200, 300 views. I have consistently this whole week been getting 50,000 views, 100,000 views. I have my third most popular video ever at like almost 300,000 views that I just posted the other day. I don't know what is going on right now. No idea. But boy, oh boy, am I having a good time with it, because we made it a part of the TikTok creator program. I guess we'll be making a little bit of moolah over there. Couple cents here, a couple cents there, couple cents everywhere. I ain't complaining, but I did get hit with hate speech. So there's the good and the bad. I kid you not, I've been talking about Russia, Japan, Ukraine. I've been talking about it all, folks. The one video, and it has 100,000 plus views, and I just made it the other day, was talking about China collapsing, which, by the way, we did a whole story on it here, and it got uploaded to YouTube, no issues. I get flagged late this AM with hate speech. And I'm like, what did I say bad? But it's China, you know, you get it. You call them out. They don't like that. So with that being said, the big news yesterday was Ukraine striking Russia. Now, as we do always, one, good morning, Patriots. It's good to see you. It feels like it's been forever. I feel like it's been forever. It hasn't. It's been like 48 hours since we got to cuddle with each other. But feels like it's been a long time, so it's good to see you. I got to give credit where credit's due on here. Zelensky's the one that planned this, or at least had a part in the strategy. If you've been living under a rock the last 48 hours, 48 hours, Ukraine obliterated 40 military planes in a drone attack. Now, like, well, Brad, that doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Well, when we get into the details, you'll see. This is up there, and it immediately came to my mind when I heard this story and I watched the footage. Don't worry, I got it all for you. You remember when the Israelis put explosives inside the pagers to blow up Hamas? Y'all remember that? And you're like, that is sophisticated. That was genius. You got to give them credit where credit's due. And it was blowing up their private parts, and they were like looking at it really close because they changed the font and it blew up in their face. Genius. Absolutely genius. And the Israelis didn't stop there, did they? No, they're like, you think that's genius? And they were cooking, right? They're getting something going. We didn't know what it was. And then the story comes out. Oh, they also put some explosives in something else. And what was that something else? Well, when you can't use pagers and beepers anymore, you're trying to figure out, well, how do we play telephone with one another? How do we talk to each other? We can't use cell phones because they'll tap into that. Oh, Mohammed, maybe we should use walkie-talkies. And the Israelis go, perfect. Shh, perfect. Use the walkie-talkies. So they go and buy walkie-talkies. The explosives are in the walkie-talkies, and those blow up too. Well, how does that play in here? Credit where credit's due. Ahead of high-stakes peace talks in Istanbul, Ukraine says it carried out an audacious drone attack that destroyed over 40 Russian military planes and airfields, including Belaya airbase in Russia's blah, blah, blah region. Planned for over a year, 18 months to be exact, and overseen by Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Credit. The operation involved drones smuggled deep, get this, into Russia via truck containers. A Ukrainian security official told the Associated Press, I'm going to show you pictures and footage and stuff. They put these drones, you know, like mobile homes, think of something like that, but think of like somebody making a mobile home, like on a shipping container, kind of like they do with the homeless stuff here in California. And they had like on the roof, between the roof and like the inside of the housing roof, that's where they laid down a bunch of drones. And so when they when they drove into Russia, they took the roof off and they just had like ba 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 bum ba 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 bum ba 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 ba, right? That song's playing and everything like that. They're smoking cigars. Holy shit, this is awesome. It's working. And it actually worked. They just flew off, they flew a little bit, just boom, boom. As noted by the news outlet, Russia conducted its own attack with 472 drones and several missiles, killing at least 12 Ukrainian service members and injuring 60 others, according to Ukraine's Air Force. The assaults, which happened before Monday's planned negotiations in Turkey, underscore the fragile prospect for peace. Now, before going live, there are peace talks going on right now, which I'll show you some footage. Let me tell you, nobody looks happy right now. It's the most awkward thing you're going to see in quite some time. I know we show a lot of awkward stuff here, but it's what you expect. Russians and Ukrainians, nobody ever smiles. Zelensky posted on X outlining Ukraine's demands. First, and a full and unconditional ceasefire. Second, the release of prisoners. Third, the return of abducted children. And in order to establish a reliable and lasting peace and ensure security, preparation of the meeting at the highest level, the key issues can only be resolved by the leaders on Monday. Our delegation will be led by blah, 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 some person. I don't know, for who cares. Russia's state-run TASS quoted envoy accusing Kiev of destabilizing the situation. Oh, that's calling the kettle black, isn't it, Russia? I mean, you're the one that was launching missiles over at them. Now I'm kind of like, it's kind of messed up. Let me use my hat here. It's kind of messed up. It's my popcorn bucket. Just I'm watching. The reason why I'm willing to say this, because look, it's war, people are dying. That's serious. I love what Ukraine did here. Let me explain while eating my popcorn. For those on audio, I have a upside down hat and I'm eating popcorn out of it. And I'm loving it. The reason why I love this attack. Oh, this looks like the thing. Hey. Oh boy, those on audio don't get to see this. This is what it looked like. Like, what are the odds that I'm talking about an Aztec container and they say they can't hear us? Google says they can't hear us. Well, Google's giving me an ad for an Aztec container that looks awfully a lot like what they just used over there in Russia. That is wild. You can't plan that, nor can I write it. Are you all seeing what I'm seeing right here? We're talking about shipping containers, and Google gives us an Aztec shipping container ad. You can't write it. No, you can't. Anyways, this is exactly what it looks like. That's the crazy thing. And you see this part here? This part just kind of folded up. Just folded up like a book. And some stuff flew out of it. But back to this. Isn't that crazy? Oh, well, they destabilized our negotiation talks. Like, bro, you just bombed them like 3 days ago. What are you talking about? So you're pissed off that they came back at you with a tactic that I think is fun. Nobody really got hurt in this. Nobody really got hurt. You blew up some planes. And by the way, they didn't go after civilian areas. They didn't go after a neighborhood. They went after a military installation. That's fair game, in my opinion. Fair game. I got to give Zelensky credit. We all thought he was stupid. Look, he is. But sometimes stupid people just get it. Sometimes they pull up to the drive-thru and they get the order right. And he did. He got this one right. Quote, I've always had a very special relationship with President Vladimir Putin of Russia, but something has happened to him. He's gone absolutely crazy. We've seen that quote. So let's get into a little bit of this. I will show you a bunch of stuff here. Here is the peace negotiations that is allegedly taking place between Russia and Ukraine right now. So this is what that looks like. Let me get it up for you. That's what she said. There we go. So they're sitting around, blah, blah. I mean, there is not a smile in sight through this. It just looks tense. You know what I mean? You can see, for those on audio, It's just a big horseshoe-shaped table made of wood. And there is no decorations in the room other than a giant sign behind that says Istanbul. And they tried they tried to spruce it up with some flowers, but it's just not doing it. It actually makes it more awkward. It really does. And here's a little bit of video for you guys. Oh boy, he's happy, isn't he? Look, oh, I told you, isn't it? Did I not say it perfect? It just seems, I got goosebumps. It seems tense. It seems awkward. It seems like they're not going to resolve. This ain't happening. Just by the look in the room. Hold on, going back. Look at this look right here from this guy on the left. Does this look like we're going to get a negotiation here? No, we ain't. Bro, after what Zelensky did yesterday, this ain't happening. This baby's going to pop off. I'm waiting. I am waiting. I thought it would happen quicker. I waited for 7 hours yesterday. I was trying to see what Russia was going to do. Russia was embarrassed yesterday. I hate to say it, but they were. And Putin ain't happy. I think you're going to see some crazy stuff here in the next 24 hours. How often am I wrong? Now, I'm wrong. Look, I am wrong many of times, but not often. Not often. Excuse me, Patriots? You want to come at me right now? Huh? Just kidding. All right, here we go. Enough of the silliness. I do have more stuff to show you. So let's see what that Russia Ukraine strike looked like here. So here is, I want to show you the shipping containers and then I'll show you the footage, okay? I need to kind of do this in reverse order. Here we go. So these are what the shipping containers looked like. They put these on the back of trucks. And for those that don't have your glasses on, put them on. What are you doing? These are the roofs right here. And it kind of looks like solar panels a little bit. But under these roofs are the drones. So let me show you. So the roof comes off pretty easily. And look at how many drones are just laying in there. And if you're not familiar with this type of warfare, this is relatively new type of warfare. So these could be remote controlled from very far away. I think in this case, they were, 2,000 to 4,000 kilometers from the front driving these things. This is a new tactic that we saw these in the Gulf War. No, not the Gulf War, excuse me. The Iraq War. Kind of the same thing. They're both against Iraq, I suppose. But they're able to actually hack into these or basically create some sort of interference that will bring these down. So one of the things you're going to see a lot of in footage, and I don't want you guys to be confused when you look at the footage of the latest war tactic, is they're using fiber optic cables on these, and it almost looks like spider webs everywhere on these battlefields. And so when guys are walking, it looks like fishing line, just a ton of fishing lines kind of wrapped around them. Again, like you walk through a line of spider web. It's just fiber optic cables just everywhere. So they could drive these things because it decreases the chance of it being destabilized or hacked into or brought down. So that's what you're going to see in a lot of footage, probably on the news over time here. All right, so they come out of the ceiling or off the roof and they fly around, okay? Here is a room filled with these drones. The question is, where did they get them? Which is going to piss people off in Russia. Then you have this right here of it actually coming out of the roof itself. And it's just going to go take off. So you can see there's already bombings taking place. And don't worry, I got the footage. I got the drone footage for it. Calm down, I got the footage. Jesus. And I'm like yelling for no reason. By the way, for those on audio, when I yell, nobody's telling me where's the drone footage. I completely made that up. Nobody's asking in the chat. Nobody. It just adds a little bit of entertainment and spice. All right, so you got that. It doesn't go show that specific one exploding, but I got the footage for you, baby. Don't you worry. So here's what the airfield looks like, completely up ablaze. And if you're curious, I looked how much these aircraft are. They're like anywhere from like 50 million to like $120 million to make. So Ukraine used what I'm gonna be generous, a $200 drone to blow up something that was $40 million to like $120 million. These are some serious bombers, by the way. These aren't like BS aircraft. This is a big deal. I mean, $2 billion in damage. I would say it's more than that, but here's the footage. You can see it's already on fire. This is drone footage. This is real stuff. And this one's going to fly up and it's going to go boom, boom. Boom. Doesn't it feel like a movie? Kind of like you're watching behind the scenes footage of some Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie. You think it's a $1,500 drone, really? Dave's like, excuse me, Brad, but it's $1,500, not $200. All right, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't change my point. You guys stop. It's not $200, $1,500. The point was that it was cheap. Stop it. All right, here's the next part. You want to go at it? I'll kick all your asses. Really? All right, here we go. Here's the next part. I thought it would be a lot better, more entertaining here, but you can see what it looks like. And by the way, you guys, seriously, these drones aren't that expensive. You could buy this type of drone. You're not going to get the distance with it. You could buy this similar type of drone off Amazon, just to let you know. So they don't have to be military grade. And by the way, most of them that are used in warfare right now, so I'm just going to slap you guys around on the battlefield, are not military grade drones, just a heads up. They are not military grade drones. Some of them are legitimately $200, just a heads up. So I was being nice, but sometimes you got to slap people around. These ones might have been more than $200, but that's not what I was talking about, them just being cheap. Most drones that are used on the battlefield are not expensive. They're used to be cheap and blow up. They carry mostly just a grenade with them or some sort of explosive. And they're used to go over the trenches and drop grenades on people. They are short range, very cheap, boom, boom, explode. Even these are the cheaper ones because that's why they had to get close to the airfield. So there you go. Smacking your ass around. They're not, most are not racing drones. No, they're not. Not on the battlefield, they're not. You can actually go watch it yourself. I've watched a lot of drone footage, a lot. I've actually seen them fight in the trenches, man-to-man combat. Prove me wrong. Send it to me. Email me the links, and I will put it here on the show. Send it to me right now. I will open up my Gmail. My Gmail is officially open. Send it. Now I'm pissed. Now I'm going to fight my own people. I don't give a shit. Send it to me. Email's open. I literally have the tab open right now. I show you receipts, you show me receipts. I ain't taking your shit today. Here's another picture. So, Ukraine just rewrote the rules of war. I don't know about that, but it's definitely a different type of warfare that we're seeing than what we traditionally are used to. So, I will 100% keep you up to date. Be on the lookout for YouTube shorts. Man, that looks like a very expensive drone, doesn't it? It looks like they Jimmy rigged the crap out of it, in my opinion. It looks like the same drone that you put a GoPro on. But in all seriousness, all jokes aside, I will keep you up to date on what is going on with this, because I fully expect Russia to attack. Now, why do I get that? So, why am I like sussed out? Let me see if I have it. I don't know if I shared it. And of course, I was an idiot yesterday and didn't. There was an individual. I can't believe I didn't repost it. And he posted about, somebody asked him, hey, you know, is there any response? It's a Russian person. Hey, is there any response to the attack that took place on Russia? And the Russian guy said that it's a part of the negotiations today, said, he said, wait 24 hours, you'll see. So it's going to be 24 hours soon, and it's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to do. And I was trying to look at let me see if I can find it. I really feel bad. I thought I reposted it so I could pull it up very easily. There was rumors. Oh, here it is. Yes. This is what I do. So wait for it. Breaking: Russia hints at major retaliation when asked about Ukraine strikes on Russia airbase. Putin's top negotiator, Vladimir Medinsky, simply replied, "Wait for tomorrow. The silence is ominous. The response could reshape the battlefield." Now, that could go many different ways, right? Wait till tomorrow, meaning, hey, let's see what happens with the negotiations before we completely blow them up. I also want you guys to be careful, because what you're going to see is this, right? There's a lot of people posting random videos of explosions or military transport of missiles. There was a huge explosion that was posted late yesterday that was of something totally different that had nothing even to do with Russia. So just because you're seeing people post videos, please, like this one right here is old. This is not even taking place, but people are posting it. So just because you see videos of explosions, please be careful and kind of just wait it out so you're not kind of fooled going, oh man, Russia's attacking. This is something that I think we're going to have to take hold of and wait even longer than before for something to be verified, because we're going into the utilization of artificial intelligence. I'm not saying that's going to happen now, like this week or this year, but as we move forward in life, this is something we're going to have to do, is kind of wait and just sit back and go, well, this could not be real. This could be an old video they're trying to attribute now. And that patience, I think, is ever more appropriate than before. Now, again, this could go both ways. Hey, wait till tomorrow because these big boom booms are coming in. And a lot of people in the comment section for a lot of the videos I've been doing and researching for are saying, oh, well, Russia can't even beat Ukraine. Russia's treating Ukraine like Vietnam, like we did with Vietnam. We could have steamrolled Vietnam if we wanted to, but we didn't. Now you could say, oh, we won, we lost. That's not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make is we didn't put our full effort into Vietnam. In the same way, Russia is not putting their full effort into Ukraine. If you think that they are, I don't know where you're at and what rock you're living under. Russia has some serious firepower and they're not using it. If they wanted to just completely obliterate Ukraine, they could. In the same way, this is kind of the same idea they say with Israel and Gaza. Well, Israel wants to wipe out Gaza. If they wanted to, Gaza could be a parking lot, and portion of it really is a parking lot. And I'm not trying to make light of that whole situation and be funny or satirical. It really is like a parking lot, and it's terrible and it's sad. They could do the same thing to Ukraine. And I'll tell you what, they might now, because he is embarrassed. And the balls to do this, not only was it already an embarrassment that it happened, that you allowed this, and they posted it everywhere on the internet. So not only is Vladimir Putin psycho and crazy, but when you get a psycho and crazy person embarrassed, that's when they really go off the tipping point, and some crazy stuff I expect to happen today. Could be wrong. But it wasn't just that. Not only did you embarrass the guy, you walked up in front of all his friends and slapped him in the face and spit on him. And he couldn't do anything about it at the time. That's how I'm portraying it here. Pretty crazy, pretty bonkers. All righty. Well, we spent about 25 minutes on that. Again, that was the main story. We're going to move into a bunch of other news. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button if you feel like we deserved it. If you're over at X, follow me over there. Follow me on TikTok. I'm telling you guys, now's the time to get in that grassroots movement. Appreciate all of you for joining us. If you could hit that like button, I would really appreciate that. All the help from you guys is greatly, greatly loved. And I just thank you for all the help and support that you show me all the time. We got the best community on Rumble, YouTube. I don't care where you're at. I don't care what you say. If you haven't hopped in and experienced our chat, you haven't experienced the chat yet, because these people are amazing that we got over there. Every patriot is awesome. Now, you heard me talk about Gaza. You heard me talk about Israel, so I got that for you all. Again, we got a bunch of news. If you're not familiar with the news up here, we got a lot of it. I'm going to try to get through all of it today. I'm not going into work today. I got a doctor's appointment. I'm getting my feet looked at. Actually, I'm getting, what are those called? Those custom orthotics to go running. So don't worry. I'm okay. Thanks for asking. Is he sick? So the Israeli military and a Gaza Aid Foundation have refuted allegations that Israel's military killed dozens of Palestinian civilians in an attack near an aid center over the weekend. Now, here's the problem. For me, it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. I'm not saying it didn't happen. It might have even happened. But I have been lied to so much by the Palestinians, by Hamas, that I take it with a grain of salt. I just don't know who to believe. By the way, Israel has lied too. So I'm just a fly on the wall sitting back wondering, did it happen? Did it not happen? Is this fabricated? Is this what about it? So we're just going to read it. We're not really going to give much here. The Israeli Defense Forces and Gaza Humanitarian Foundation have denied reports of Palestinian deaths from officials at the Gaza Health Ministry, a Hamas-run agency. In a statement, the military cautioned against news outlets uncritically publishing data from the terrorist-controlled health ministry. Exactly. By the way, they have lied before. And what's tough is these media outlets are burying the updated death tolls. And I'm talking to overestimation big time. It's kind of like what Joe Biden did with the job numbers. We had 200,000 new jobs. And then they revised it. And it turns out the jobs were like decreased by 180,000. That's how much they inflated them by. That's basically what Hamas has been doing. So maybe Joe Biden, since he loved giving so much money to Hamas and Iran and all these other terrorist organizations, maybe he took a page out of their playbook and utilized that for the jobs numbers. Quote, false reports have been spread in recent hours, including serious allegations against the IDF regarding fire toward Gazan residents in the area of the humanitarian aid distribution site in Gaza. Findings from an initial inquiry indicated that the IDF did not fire at civilians while they were near or within the humanitarian aid distribution site, and that reports to this effect are false. The IDF is cooperating with the GHF and international aid organizations in order to enable the distribution of aid to Gaza residents and not to Hamas, which I think is a critical point there, because the former aid that did go in was Hamas was taking it and utilizing it for themselves and then sending a portion of it, selling a portion of it to be specific, to the black market or utilizing the black market to do that. Meaning it wasn't actually get to the residents. The IDF calls on media to be cautious with information published by Hamas terrorist organization. When did we just start suddenly being accepted of Hamas and taking what they say as truth? Why would I ever take Hamas, a terrorist organization, as truth? Like in the height of 9/11, would you guys have taken these Al-Qaeda words as serious? Would you believe them a week after, like say like a week, month after, 2 years after, 5 years after? Would you go, oh yeah, you know, these guys have a point. Oh yeah. Yeah, we just bombed a whole village. Yep. Just randomly bombed a village out there in BFE. Sure. Sure. Well, speaking of out there in BFE, what a setup. We got Iran nuclear program in the news again, as it always is. So alarming new watchdog report issued on Iran's nuclear program. Boy, oh boy, they are, once they get a nuke, man, things are going to be different. Things are really going to be different. A new and alarming report from the International Atomic Energy Agency, the United Nations nuclear watchdog, reveals that Iran has increased its storage of enrichment uranium to almost weapon-grade levels. Now, I'll be fair, we do hear this quite a bit, don't we? Oh, well, they're a week away from getting a nuke. They're 48 hours from getting a nuclear warhead. And we've been hearing it for like a decade. Now, for all we know, they could already have a nuclear weapon. Who really knows? We're not being told anything. I mean, it's the same thing with Hamas. You think I'm going to believe the Iranian government? I don't even believe my own government. As of May 17th, Iran has amassed, wow, that's pretty specific, 408.6 kilograms or 900 pounds of uranium enriched up to 60%. That's an increase of 134 kilograms, basically. I rounded up for those on audio, or 294 pounds, or almost 50% since the IAEA's last report in February. The 60% enrichment material is a short technical step away from weapons grade levels of 90%. So I don't know if they don't have the technology to enrich it to 90%, or the plan is to get enough and then enrich that portion to 90%. I don't really know. But we have seen these military development sites being created under Joe Biden's administration in Iran. We've showed you the satellite footage, although it was quick when I showed it. They have increased these installations quite substantially. And I would expect that it's quite possible, if these aren't taken out, that they could have the uranium that they need to produce a nuclear warhead under the Trump administration. And the research that I've kind of been doing on the side is that it doesn't seem as though Trump is the one that's going to be bombing these military installations. I'm hearing a lot of rumors that he's going to have the Israelis do it. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Granted, I don't really care who does it, but can I hound Trump here for a moment? Just for a little bitty. Again, for those that are new, voted for the guy 3 times, love the guy. We do a Dark MAGA podcast every Tuesday, Thursday. Okay, you already know I love Trump. Get over it. Get over it. I love the guy. Doesn't mean, look, you love your parents, you love people, doesn't mean that you agree with them all the time. You guys love me and I love you. Okay? Come here. Can we have a hug? We started off kind of rough together, didn't we? Didn't we? Mostly Dave and Bets. We kind of had a little bit of an argument. I'm sorry. I love you. But all jokes aside, I am not in agreement right now with Trump trying to still negotiate with the Iranians. Look, I get it at the 6 months. What are we in? I get it like 4 months ago, 4.5 months ago, he was trying. The Iranians said, F you. They gave Trump the middle finger to his face like 2 months ago and said, yeah, we don't want to negotiate. Yeah, we'll do indirect talks, but we'll do something. We'll talk to you. We'll listen to you. You guys, they don't want to do any negotiation. They want to see all of us, Democrats, Republicans, everybody wiped off the face of this earth, especially the Israelis. If you're a Jew, they don't want to see you. They want you as mist, gone, exterminated. That's what the Iranian government wants. Trump needs to stop this. He needs to stop trying to be everybody's friend. He needs to realize they don't want to be his friend. He needs to realize Xi doesn't want to be his friend. Putin doesn't want to be his friend. Zelensky doesn't want to be his friend. The Ayatollah doesn't want to be his friend. He needs to stop this idea that everybody, I get along with them so great. Oh, we had coffee and it was nice. It was awesome. I think we're past that point now. I think we can all see past that they don't want to be your friend, brother. Okay? Trump, I love you. I think you need to just go bomb these installations and stop screwing around with this. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but it just ain't working. Just stop it. Just go bomb them and get it over with. I'm tired of this right here, trying to just negotiate with everybody. He already said he doesn't want to negotiate. They've already said it clear as day many, many times. They've already had multiple parades, I guess you would call them, and chanting death to America inside their own governmental chambers time and time again already. I don't need to see them I don't want to even negotiate. Their negotiation is they get to somewhat be a part of the global trade and be able to revitalize their economy. There's an agreement. It's kind of like Hamas. Why are we negotiating with Hamas when you want to know what the negotiation tactic is? You get to live. How about that? How about you get to keep your head on your head on your shoulders? Why am I nuts? What's happening? What, to blow up their military installations? What do you mean? What's happening? I don't know. You guys are yelling at me. I can't take it anymore. The IAEA, which hesitates to openly condemn Iran, also stated Iran's cooperation with the IAEA had been less than satisfactory regarding uranium traces found in inspectors at several locations in Iran. Iran has never acknowledged those sites as nuclear sites. Sure. Yeah, we're just a bunch of idiots with our satellite imagery. I'm not cray-cray. Just a little bit. Just kidding. So that's at least an updated version of what's going on there. Let me see if I can actually pull up that satellite imagery. Let me see if I can do it in real time. I know what it looks like. Yeah, here it is. It's actually right here. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about.
The regime's already known nuclear sites. It's codenamed the Rainbow Site by Iran's officials, and it spans nearly 2,500 acres. It's been operating, as far as we can discern, for over a decade under the cover of a chemical production company that's called Diba Energy Siba. The so-called Rainbow Site's reportedly being used primarily to extract tritium. It is a material that's used to boost nuclear weapons with no real civil or commercial.
Okay, so I'm just going to go back here. Now, everybody's gone home to work. You know, everyone, I don't know where they're going to go. It's all dirt. Just, let's put it's called the mother of all bombs is what it's called. Trump's actually dropped it before. makes a big boom boom. Just right here. Just throw one right here, right here, right here, 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 here. I want all mothers of bombs, money well invested. Nobody gets hurt. Maybe a few. All right, maybe a few. But look, there's nothing here. I mean, this is great practice. Just boom, 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 carpet bomb it. And I want it deep too. Maybe throw in some bunker busters, something that goes deep into the earth. Maybe some of those military drones that Dave and Betts were talking about. Yeah, that was my jab. What about it? It looks like there's more here. Breaking. Iran tested seems a successful one. A 5 magnitude earthquake struck the Natsa region where Iran's nuclear facilities are located. So that's not good. But we got all sorts of stuff here for you. Look at this development. Look at this, huh? Oh, what could this be? Oh, it's just a glacier. Yeah, it's just a glacier happening. There's no development taking place. This is normal. Yeah. Oh, I love how people are just turning their heads to this stuff. Other news that's taking place is what's happening in Colorado. Did you all hear about this? This isn't good. If you haven't already and you feel like we deserve a follow and a subscribe, let us know in the chat that you joined us over here. Would love to give you a shout out in the chat and also say hi to everybody. They would love to give you a shout out over at YouTube Rumble. We got a lot of people watching on X as well. If you're wondering, hey, you know, Brad, you are kind of crazy. You are a little bit off the reservation a little bit. Well, that's because I drink the good stuff, folks. I wake up at 4:30 to do the show and I drink 1775 coffee. And man, this stuff is premium. Still haven't tried 1775 coffee? What are you doing? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped only 1,000 units again, folks. You're buying these up like hotcakes. They're like, let's just keep doing this over and over again. They are selling these out and they're like, let's just do another 1,000 then. There's no way we're going to do another 1,000. Then Brad does a freaking sponsorship and they do another 1,000. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits harder than a CNN fact check. The smooth medium roast, which you guys love, by the way. This is the one that you're buying up. And the Vitality Mushroom Coffee for clean energy and laser focus, no crash. You're not going to be like Joey here, walking around in the walls and roaming around. You're going to be, your candle's going to be lit. You're going to have the energy like Donald Trump. All single origin, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus you're also getting, check this out, a golden spoon. A golden spoon because freedom isn't scooped with plastic, folks. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's political opinions. And a black 1775 tumbler that says, I don't take life advice or caffeine from a woke sea witch. It's $170 worth of coffee and gear. You're getting it for $99. This is one we've been waiting for and watching 1775 blow up here on Rumble. We drink it here on the Bald Brad Show. What do you think's inside the mug, folks? There's a little bit of, that's how thick I make my coffee. You guys think I'm joking, by the way. This is like mud, man. It doesn't even come off. So that's how thick I make my coffee. It's on my tongue. It's coated. 17, you guys are like, ew, stop it. It's gross. 1775 blew up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. And like I said, you guys are buying up that medium roast like it's none other. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does. Start your day off right with coffee that actually backs what you believe. And again, that's what we drink here. That is the main coffee of the Bald Brad Show, baby. And we're a morning show, and I always say this. It only makes sense. It only makes sense for you to drink. Throw in what you need in there. Mix it up. I don't. I like the flavor of it, so I drink it black. But if you want to throw a little bit of Bailey's whiskey in there, bourbon, nobody's going to judge you here. There's some of you that do that. You just don't want to talk about it. All righty. Well, here's what happened in Colorado. This also took place, and I have some footage for you that might be a little disturbing. Just a heads up. We have to say that now. Legal reasons. Terror in Colorado. Pro-Israel demonstrators attacked in firebombing. Here we go. The woke left can't keep their crap together because somebody differs and has a different viewpoint than them. Multiple people were injured Sunday in a firebombing attack at an event in Boulder, Colorado, meant to show support for hostages kidnapped by Hamas in the October 7th, 2023 assault on Israel. Unbelievable. In a press conference, Boulder police chief said officers arrived on the scene in response to reports of people being set on fire before 2 p.m. I got footage. One moment. Local time, and found victims with injuries consistent with burns and other industries. And you'll have these psychos come out. Oh, well, where's the proof? You know, I don't see any burns as the guy's scalp is completely flayed off, right? He used to have a full head of hair, looks like me now, completely bald. Well, I don't know. His hair just was incinerated for no reason. They were sent to the hospital, he said. An adult male suspect was detained and also taken to a hospital, which I got pictures of, with minor injuries. Officials are investigating the attack. The individual noted that he could not ID the suspect right away. This act is unacceptable, obviously. Earlier on X, the Boulder Police Department said it was responding to a report of an attack. The FBI also responded with Kash Patel saying, "We are aware of and fully investigating a targeted terror attack in Boulder, Colorado. Our agents and local law enforcement are on the scene already, and we will share updates as more information becomes available." You had the individual of the police department said that he will not immediately confirm a motive. Well, I think we know what the motive was, right? I think we know. And you'll kind of guess here. So here's the guy. And you'll hear somebody on the phone saying that he's spraying alcohol on people. And on the ground, you're going to see Molotov cocktails that he's created and thrown at people. Now, this is allegedly the guy, alleged. You know, these people like to come at you as well later on. But I just wanted you to see, you're going to see fire on the ground and stuff like that.
We're here. We can't do nothing about that. We can't do nothing.
We can.
Not here.
You have to answer this.
Molotov cocktail right there. That person lit on fire. That ground on fire right there. The grass is on fire. Everything's on fire.
Alcohol, too. He's making Molotov cocktails.
He's carrying Molotov cocktails. I thought he was, people are saying he was spraying them with alcohol earlier. Now he's carrying them.
And for us,
Well, we can't do it when he's got Molotov cocktails on.
if you are fighting, you have to
That's what he's got right here. Is Molotov cocktails.
They are killers.
Yep. So that was him freaking out. And here is the Boulder police talking about it. Here we go.
I'm able to confirm there are 6 victims, ages 67 to 88. All of them have been transported to local hospitals. This attack happened at a regularly scheduled weekly peaceful event. Witnesses are reporting that the subject used a makeshift flamethrower and threw an incendiary device into the crowd. The suspect was heard to yell, "Free Palestine," during the attack.
I'm sorry, what did he say? I thought he was just a guy that was out on a shopping trip and kind of got pissed off because somebody took his parking spot.
Into the crowd. The suspect was heard to yell, threw an incendiary device into the crowd. The suspect was heard to yell, "Free Palestine," during the attack.
No, he didn't shout, "Hey, there's great deals. Everybody come in, 50% off." No, he shouted "Free Palestine." Weird. God, I wonder what his motive was. What could it have been? And you know what? You know what? All these psycho TikTok influencers, these nut jobs that always have to, try to be right about everything. Well, he didn't say that he hated Jews. No, he didn't explicitly say it. As if you can never read between the lines. As if you can never kind of go, yeah, come on, Free Palestine, throwing Molotov cocktails. I mean, what do you think he's about? He's throwing it at Jews, most likely.
The subject has been identified as Mohammed Sabri Solomon, and he's 45 years old. The FBI is processing the crime scene and the subject vehicle and interviewing key witnesses. We're assisting Boulder Police in providing technical, analytic, and additional forensic resources. As a result of these preliminary facts, it is clear that this is a targeted act of violence, and the FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism.
We'll keep you up to date. We do have live updates on this Boulder suspect here. This is what we got going right now. This is as of 16 minutes ago, so I'm going to take you through some of this stuff together because most of this I have not read myself. So here's what we know. Colorado attack. A man used a flamethrower and Wow, okay. Didn't know that. A man, so this is CNN, right? We're going to be generous here and utilize CNN as a fact source. I know, mind-blowing. A Colorado man used see how I did, you see what I did there? A Colorado man, just like the Maryland man. The good guy. The guy does community service. He's out there always doing great things. A Maryland man used, a Colorado man used a flamethrower and Molotov cocktail to set people on fire Sunday at a Jewish community event in Boulder, Colorado, held in support of hostages in Gaza. He injured at least 8 people ranging in age of 52 to 88 before being detained. The FBI identified the lone suspect as Mohammed Sabri Soliman, and he yelled "Free Palestine" during the attack. He faces multiple felony charges. Here's his history. Soliman had applied for asylum in the United States and was denied a visa to enter the country all the way back in 2005. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller said Soliman had illegally, there you go. You know, you were itching for it, weren't you? You knew. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to jump the gun. No, I didn't. But I will tell you, in my mind, I was thinking there's something there. There's something here that I know it starts with ill and ends with illegal. And I was like, I know it's there. I'm waiting for it. You just got to dig. There you go. Illegally overstayed a tourist visa, although it's unclear when the tourist visa was issued. So now we have illegal immigrants again committing terrorist attacks. Oh, goody. Jewish leaders called for action against attacks on their community in the wake of rising anti-Semitic violence and threats. Less than 2 weeks ago, 2 Israeli embassy staff members were deleted in Washington, D.C. by an attacker who yelled "Free Palestine" once again. It's almost like there's a theme here. Yeah, it's almost like there's a theme here. Gotcha. Attack suspect's work authorization expired at the end of March. Oh, so this illegal immigrant, the suspect charged in Boulder attack, arrived in the United States in August 2022. God. Who was president then? Who was president? As a non-immigrant visitor, according to a multiple law enforcement officials. He filed a claim a month later in September and was granted a work authorization in March of 2023. The authorization expired at the end of March of this year, at which point it appears he remained here illegally. After committing the attack, the suspect told police, "I did it to avenge my people." Doesn't this go with the claim and the idea that I'm saying that there's people in this country that never intended or never do intend to assimilate to our creed, our values, and actually pledge allegiance to the United States? They pledge allegiance to their people of their home country, not to Americans. See, when you immigrate here and you do it the right way, which this person, I guess, somewhat did on this work visa, but overstayed, you're supposed to be pledging allegiance to the country of which you want to be a part of. And this is how you crumble a country from the inside out, is you allow a massive amount of immigration to take place with a bunch of people that don't hold your values and your creed and will try to change what makes your country great, of which I know it's a mind-blowing thing, but Democrats do it all the time. Look at what they're doing in California. They're voting for policies that drove this state into the ground. And then because they've had enough of their garbage crap that they've created, they're going to go to your state and vote for the same crap that crippled this state, because their brain doesn't work and they go from state to state to state to state to state until there's nothing left anymore. It's exactly what's happening here. Stop it with all this mass migration. You don't have a right to be in this country. And I'm going to cuss right now, so put me on mute if you're at work or lower the volume. If you can't fucking assimilate to our country, don't fucking come. If you don't like what we do here, go fucking somewhere else. There's 193 other nations that are registered with the United Nations that you can go to. You don't have to fucking come here. If you don't like the way the shit's ran here, get the fuck out or go somewhere else. How about that? That goes for everybody. That's even American. If you don't like our shit here, get the fuck out. There you go. You can complain, but if you're an immigrant, don't be complaining over here. You came here for a reason. I was born here. It's the best damn place that's ever been created, and I hate when people try to shit on it. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. Tired of this shit, man. Want to know what? Look, I'm going to plug it just because it's the right thing to do. If I didn't believe it, I wouldn't have written a freaking entire book about how the left is destroying America, and they're doing it from the inside out, and we allowed it to happen because we voted in nut jobs like Joe Biden that allowed freaking millions of people to pour across our border and are doing atrocious things to our country. This nut job overstays his visa, should have been kicked the fuck out a long time ago, and now he, lit a bunch of people on fire. And the left goes, "Well, what's the problem? The guy's he's just doing his freedom of speech. He doesn't hate Jews. He just wants what's best for his people. This is deserved violence. Look at what Israel's doing to Gazans." That's what they're saying. You want to know how I know? Because I listen to all their crap on behalf of you guys. I subject myself to listening to these psycho lefties so I could take their words and go, bleh, to all of you great people. So you don't have to. The sacrifices I make for my community. 1 second as I take a water break. Thank you. Water break's done. More news to cover. More news. All righty. If you're having a good time, hit that like button. Let me refresh my page and see where we're at in Rumble. Because we got like 100 people. We got like, okay, to be fair, we got 75 people watching on Rumble, but we got 28 likes. Hold on. No. What's going on here? What's going on? I need your help. 28 likes. 75. 28, what? Mizzy, Dizzy, Karen, Keith, Miriam, Metal. What's happening? We hit that like button. If there's more likes on YouTube, I'm going to explode. That's what she said. Nope, there's 25. I clicked it too. We appreciate it, Brad. I sent you a TikTok short yesterday. I got it. I saw Jeff. Jeff, of course I see it. I see everybody. Dizzy sends me stuff. You send me stuff. Everybody sends me stuff. I love it. All righty, let's get to this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh my God, what is that? That was a lady on the subway system that got lit on fire. All right, I got to get to where am I at? Now I'm all disarrayed here. Okay, here we go. All right. SCOTUS rules Trump can revoke protected status for 500,000 migrants from multiple countries. Here we go. Buckle up. The Supreme Court ruled on Friday that the Trump administration can, in fact, revoke protected status for more than 500,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua. That's a rough one. That's a tough word to say in the morning. Venezuela from deportations. The unsigned decision was not a final ruling on the case, but will allow the Trump administration to continue its mass deportation efforts as an appeal of the president's order plays out in the courts, which is kind of something we see from time and time again. Did we get booted off? Oh, we're so good. I thought we got booted off YouTube for a second there. That got crazy. Justices Ketanji Brown Jackson, who doesn't know what a biological woman is. Y'all remember that one when she's going over her hearing to be selected and approved. And she was asked what a woman was. She goes, "I'm not a biologist." And Sonia Sotomayor signed on to a written dissent. Of course they did, arguing that the court's decision would have the devastating consequences of allowing the government to precipitously upend the lives of and livelihoods of nearly 500,000 non-citizens while their legal claims are pending. Yes, in the same way that you would upend a lot of Americans that, even Americans, by the way, that did something maybe they shouldn't do. Now, I think there's a question to be had here of you should be allowing them the right process to be pending. But I think that Joe Biden, and the reason why Donald Trump is doing this, circumvented the system and established something different that wasn't quote unquote normal for these illegal immigrants to come in the way that they did. And so just allowing more mass migration to take place. I think we have somewhere of like 8 to 10% of the entire Haiti population that immigrated under Joe Biden. We took 1/10 of an entire country into our country. And you're telling me all those people agree with what we do here? You think all those people agree with our Bill of Rights, our Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, even the other creed value systems that we hold so dear here? I don't think so. I don't. By the way, that's statistically almost impossible for that to even take place because Joe Biden's an idiot. The ruling centers as on former... It's almost like I've read this before. I'm telling you I haven't. It just so happens that exactly what I was saying is spoken of here. Here we go. Listen, pay attention. The ruling centers on former President Joe Biden's humanitarian parolee program that allowed migrants from certain countries facing instability to enter the United States and quickly receive work authorization, On day one in office, President Donald Trump signed an executive order calling for the end of the migrant parolee program, and the Department of Homeland Security responded by moving to terminate the program in March. Biden opened up the United States to thousands of Venezuelans in 2022 and then to Cubans, Haitians, and Nicaraguans in 2023 after Trump moved to revoke the protected status for these migrants. Lawyers representing many of these migrants, which you are all paying for, by the way, sued, arguing that Trump's actions are not only illegal, but shockingly callous. Biden's parolee program also extended to around 240,000 Ukrainians, but the Trump administration has not yet sought to revoke protected status for the Ukrainians fleeing the war. So there's that for you. We'll keep you up to date of what goes on with that. But you also have this taking place for 36 Chinese Taiwanese nationals arrested after ICE raids underground nightclub in Los Angeles. 36 Chinese and Taiwanese nationals were arrested following a raid on a Southern California underground nightclub. Video of the arrest by Homeland Security investigations and enforcement and removal operations, Los Angeles, early Friday morning, was shared by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement agencies on X. Early this morning, HSI Los Angeles, almost sounds like CSI Los Angeles, like the TV show, and partners from El Camino Real Financial Crimes Task Force conducted an enforcement operation in an underground nightclub. 36 Taiwanese nationals were arrested for being illegally present in the United States. The video shows agents on the scene at the night before it cuts to daytime footage of a large group of alleged illegal immigrants sitting on a sidewalk prior to being loaded into the vans. If you think 36 is a lot, there are millions of illegal immigrants in the state of California, millions siphoning from the system. You want to know how bad it is? It's so bad that we're in a deficit because of our Medi-Cal that we have here, which is just like Medicare, but it's Medi-Cal for the state of California. And I always talk about this, how Gavin Newsom budgeted a certain amount for it and goes, oh, I under budgeted. I didn't realize so many illegals were in the state and that I didn't do my math properly. I just didn't think so many of them would take the free health care. You idiot. I really do think Gavin Newsom was kicked in the head as a kid, like really early on, and it really fucked him up mentally. It really messed him up. And I think he gets by because he, you know, when some people have something going on, sometimes they're still able to grow into it and kind of look how to navigate in society. I think he's just been able to navigate in society, but he's really stupid. The guy, look, slimy people can be stupid people. And it's like AOC. She's slimy and she navigates that political sphere very well. She's a great politician, very slimy, very evil, very messed up, but she's also very stupid, very, very stupid. And stupid people do stupid things. And sometimes they're right. That's the sad thing, is sometimes they actually get things right. And then you have to call out the things that they did right. And then you have that one thing they did right, the 1,000 things they did wrong, but the one thing they did right, and the left will hold on to that. And you will show them the 1,000 things that they did wrong. The whole data set, 1,000 data points. And they just want to talk about this one thing over here. 1,000. 1,000. That's how their mind works. It's an odd thing, I know. I'm right there with all of you. So we have here Chuck Grassley, Biden admin ignored 65,000. You hearing this correctly? Buckle up. I'm hold on a second. Let me just collect my thoughts here because I'm about to lose it. I haven't even read the entire title and my blood is boiling. And for those on audio, you're going to understand why in a moment when I read you this title, why I had to take a pause. Biden administration ignored 65,000 troubling reports about unaccompanied alien children. Keep it together, Brad. Keep it together. The Biden administration ignored tens of thousands of concerning reports involving unaccompanied migrant children, according to Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley. Grassley looked into Office of Refugee Resettlement records at the Department of Health and Human Services and found over 65. I'm like white knuckled right now. This is how I'm sitting right now because I'm just found over 65,000 ignored or dismissed reports concerning migrant children. Nearly 7,000 of those reports were cases of suspected human trafficking and nearly 2,000 others were related to fraud. Fuck you, Joe. Piece of shit. Since President Donald Trump assumed office on January 20th, HHS has worked through over a quarter of those cases left over from the Biden administration and made dozens of arrests, according to Grassley. My oversight exposed the Biden-Harris administration for placing unaccompanied migrant children with dangerous sponsors and actively obstructing law enforcement and Congress efforts to rescue vulnerable kids. I applaud the Trump administration for its swift action to protect unaccompanied migrant children by addressing the concerning reports the Biden-Harris administration shelved. I look forward to working with Secretary Kennedy to ensure justice is served. How sicko of a parent do you have to fucking be to send your kid with a coyote that's most likely going to be raping your kid multiple times along the journey? How sick of an individual are you? Things are bad. I'm sure they are, but not to the point where you put your child's safety in jeopardy with not only one coyote or smuggler, but multiple, raping that kid along that journey. Sometimes even never even making it and selling them off, going, well, it's worth the gamble. No, it ain't. And then you got shithead Joe not knowing what the fuck's going on, using AutoPen for shit and crapping his diaper every day, taking 50% vacation, and that's me being generous. And now this happens? And Democrats are calling Trump, they're shitting on Trump? I don't want to read more. It gets. No, we got to. At least 500,000 children entered the United States under President Joe Biden's tenure. Those children were often flown in or bused to homes of strangers. Often the Biden administration relaxed rules on background checks for sponsors of the children. And there is Democrats and lefties that say this never happened. And I can even point you to the clip. No, I'm going to find it really quick. Let me find it. I will show you the scummy fucking individual, and he is a scumbag, that says this doesn't happen. I actually know what he looks like. Let me see if I can find him. Let me see if I can find him really quick. Give me 1 second. This guy right here. This guy right here will not only claim it never happened, the 340,000 kids. You got to watch this. I'm going to put it in the chat for all of you. Just that segment where he's at in there, you could scan across. Says it never happened. The guy will go on TikTok. He's on TikTok and says that this never happened. It's crazy. It's crazy. So let me go back. Where am I? Yeah, he says this never happened. At least 85,000 of those children who crossed as unaccompanied minors were lost by the administration. HHS officials under the Biden administration failed to locate the children again after leaving them with sponsors. Everything that was just said right here, he doesn't think happened. He will say it verbatim, by the way. So this isn't me like injecting words into his mouth or his thought process, their lack of. This dude will spend all day on TikTok saying shit like this didn't happen because they're psychos. That's what Democrats do. They love the children. They love transing them. They love lopping off their genitals. They love giving them puberty blockers and hormone enhancers or either one. They love doing it secretly. They like sending children off into forced labor and sex trafficking and all sorts of stuff. It's all to do with children because it's evil, and evil people do evil things. You gotta like this one. Let's get into some different news here, because let's kind of cheer ourselves up. And one thing we could cheer ourselves up with is Scott Bessent slapping the media around here regarding inflation numbers. And he makes a great point here. Listen to the point that he makes on Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan. And I don't know when these facial expressions started, but Kristen Welker does it too. Of, I believe, MSNBC, I think. Maybe she's part of CBS. I can't remember. Former White House correspondent. I don't know why they need to do these stupid ass facial expressions, but it just looks dumb. Just here we go.
The reality is there will either be less inventory or things at higher prices, or both.
When we were here in March, you said there was going to be big inflation. There hasn't been any inflation. Actually, the inflation numbers are the best in 4 years. So why don't we stop trying to say this could happen and wait and see what does happen?
The reality.
Can you just look at her face? Watch how many times she blinks. She's like this. I'm going to mimic what she just did. It's like she's trying to process what he's saying. She can't believe it. Now, if you think I'm wrong, everybody saw it, right? I did that to a T. Exactly. Yeah, she's possessed. Exactly, Dave. Here we go. You tell me if that was a perfect impression of her.
Either be less inventory or things at higher prices, or both.
When we were here in March, you said there was going to be big inflation. There hasn't been any inflation. Is
she sign like, what? Do you know anybody that blinks like that? Am I about to get into conspiracy theory here? Is she like saying Morse code? Fucking help me! I sold my soul! Get out of here!
When we were here in March, you said there was going to be big inflation. There hasn't been any inflation.
He makes a great point. He makes a fabulous point. So here we go. He's back again with more. Like, oh, Brad, does he slap around more? Yes, he does. Maybe that's why she's blinking so much.
To make sure that there aren't price increases, Margaret, and thus far there have been no price increases. Everything has been alarmist. That the inflation numbers are actually dropping. We saw the first drop of inflation in 4 years. The inflation numbers last week, they were very pro-consumer.
Right. But you listen to earnings calls just like we do. Mm-hmm. You know what Walmart's saying, what Best Buy's saying, and what Target are saying.
But Margaret, I also know what Home Depot and Amazon are saying. I know what the South China Morning Post wrote within the past 24 hours, that 65% of the tariffs will likely be eaten by the Chinese producers. We wanted to make sure that there aren't price.
I think there's some truth to that. Now, is it going to be that high? I don't know. I mean, that could be like an average or something like that over everybody, but we'll see. I'm not exactly sure. I just love the fact that he slapped her around. And, they're cherry picking the data as they always do. That's typical. One of the things I want to get to here as well is Hakeem Jeffries' hysteria. Top Democrat claims people will literally die if big, beautiful bill prevails. This is how psycho these people are. And they claim that we're the psychos. They claim that we're the wild ones. So here he is. Oh, on CNN, of course, they allow him to get away with this stuff, to act like a big old baby.
Bill actually hurts everyday Americans in order to reward billionaires. It would strip away health care from approximately 14 million Americans. Premiums, co-pays, and deductibles for tens of millions more will go up. Actually, if it ever were to be implemented into law, hospitals will close, nursing homes will shut down, and people will literally die. This bill actually...
Just so if anybody missed it, to know that I'm bringing you the receipts and not putting words in anybody's mouth.
Hospitals will close, nursing homes will shut down, and people will literally die. People will literally die. And people will literally die. And people will literally die. And people will literally die. You
heard it from the horse's mouth. You heard it. That's what they have to do, right? Is build hysteria. Build hysteria. Now, here's the crazy thing. Mike Johnson came out and insisted there are no Medicaid cuts. But remember, people are literally going to die. Literally going to die.
All right, let's move on to Medicaid now. As you know, that's a big part of the debate as well. Here's what the American Hospital Association is warning. It writes, quote, the sheer magnitude of the level of reductions to the Medicaid program alone will impact all parties. Hospitals, especially in rural and underserved areas, will be forced to make difficult decisions about whether they will have to reduce services, reduce staff, and potentially consider closing their doors. Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri calling this a hospital tax, Mr. Speaker. So does the House bill put rural hospitals and, frankly, the most vulnerable Americans at risk?
No, and you can underscore what I'm about to tell you. There are no Medicaid cuts in the big, beautiful bill. We're not cutting Medicaid. What we're doing is strengthening the program. We're reducing fraud, waste, and abuse that is rampant in Medicaid to ensure that program is essential for so many people, ensure that it's available for the most vulnerable. It's intended for young, single pregnant women and the disabled and the elderly. But what's happening right now is you have a lot of people, for example, young men, able-bodied workers who are on Medicaid. They're not working when they can. That drains resources from the people that need it most. And so what we're doing here is an important and frankly heroic thing to preserve the program so that it doesn't become insolvent. This is not going to hurt rural hospitals. There's a lot of flexibility built into this. They keep saying that 7.6 million people is the figure that that is supposedly going to be affected by this. But when you look at those numbers and you break them down, this is high on public opinion polling. You're talking about 1.4 million illegal aliens that are receiving Medicaid right now. They're not entitled to that. This is for U.S. citizens in those vulnerable populations. There's about 4.8 million people that they're referring to that are able-bodied workers. If you are able to work and you're not, and you are riding on the public wagon, you need to help pull it. And by the way, Kristen, this is no draconian requirement. All we're requiring in the legislation is 20 hours a week. You can volunteer in your community, you can be in a job training program, or you can get to work. And this is my message to young men around the country who are taking advantage of the system. It is abusing the system. We're going to fix that, and I'm telling you that is a very popular thing among the American people because it comports with common sense.
Well,
interesting. So it's amazing how different the messaging is between both sides. And I know none of you are shocked by it, but it still is mind-blowing nonetheless. Now, speaking of mind-blowing, y'all ready for this? I saved this next story towards the end because, you got to reward those that are still around. Now, just buckle up really quick. Just want to point out we do have Dark MAGA podcast every Tuesday, Thursday evenings at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Would love for you to join us. There are times where it is restricted to premium members only at Rumble. So if you haven't got over, by the way, that helps me out if you join Rumble Premium. Again, that does help greatly if you join Rumble Premium over at Rumble. I don't know if we get a kickback or if it's like commission based. I'm not really sure. But joining Rumble Premium does support the show, and I would love your support nonetheless. And it allows you to join our Rumble Premium only content, which sometimes goes off. If anybody's been a part of Dark MAGA, sometimes it gets crazy, and that's the best part of it. This sponsorship is from Rumble, one that is incredibly important to the survival of the company. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built a platform for small creators such as myself. They didn't censor or have biases. They treated everybody fairly and equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook literally admitted to it multiple times. They fell to the pressure of the Biden-Harris administration. Rumble did not. Rumble held the line, and they are attacked daily for giving you all and myself a voice to talk. They are attacked in corporate media. They're attacked by governments like France. They're attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. And as I've always mentioned, this is a major problem when you're a company that does something like Rumble does, is if people don't want to sponsor, you can't make moolah, you can't make money. And so that's why they have Rumble Premium, so you can help their company stay afloat and give us a voice to talk to you. You've seen what YouTube does to me. You've seen what these social media platforms do to me. They censor us. Rumble does not. Rumble will even put us on the editor page every now and then. Corporate America is fighting to remove free speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. Again, they don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in the fight and you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our right to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with the promo code STUDIO, all caps, when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, folks, now is the time to act. Join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, well, we're just happy that you're watching us over at Rumble. So I was, even before I became a part of their creator program, I had Rumble Premium. And just so you guys know, I've never even told you this before. This is new. I actually went in. It's not even a thing that works anymore. A long time ago, Rumble used to have like a package you can purchase that was for if you're a content creator. You're not making any money off Rumble. It was just for content creation. I went out of my way to still purchase that, even though it doesn't even work anymore, just so Rumble can make more money. So I've never told you guys, this was years ago, by the way. I still bought into a package just so I could support Rumble. This is before they even had Rumble Premium, just so I could support this company. So there's things that I do behind the scenes that I don't think we need to always release, but I really do believe in what Rumble is doing here. They're taking care of us. I understand things aren't perfect. I understand they're not as good as YouTube and how things work and function, but with what they have, they're doing a phenomenal job, and I couldn't be happier to be over at Rumble and have them call my home. So they're taking care of us way better than YouTube has ever. YouTube's a bunch of commies and a bunch of liars, and there's a reason why I don't have the plaque hanging up. There's a reason why that YouTube silver play button, I have it down here. I show you guys this all the time, just so you know. It is still in the packaging. You hear that? It's still in there. Fuck them. People, oh, Brad, why don't you just hang it up like back here? That'd be cool. You can, point your camera towards it and people could see it. Maybe. Maybe one day. They give me a bunch of shit. Alrighty. I would like one of those Rumble like those Rumble things. I'll put Rumble up there. I'll put Rumble right next to my book. Here we go. This is what you guys have been waiting for. This was my teaser. We got to end on a lighthearted note. And for those on audio, just give me a moment to collect my thoughts. I haven't read this. I just saw the title. I was like, this is too good. The Patriots are going to love this. Joe Biden's back in the news. Biden says he can, quote, beat the hell out of Jake Tapper. Jokes he's mentally incompetent. Oh, please be some goodies in here. Please be some goodies in here. Former President Joe Biden told reporters on Friday that he could beat the hell out of both of them, referencing CNN anchor Jake Tapper and journalist Alex Thompson, who co-authored a book detailing Biden's cognitive decline and the corresponding White House cover-up. Quote, there's also been a lot of discussion recently about your mental and physical capabilities while you were in office, a reporter said to Biden at a public event in Delaware, according to Real Clear Politics. You can see that I'm mentally incompetent and I can't walk and I can't beat the hell out of both of them. I can beat the hell out of both of them, Biden responded, seeming to reference the authors. Though Tapper details Biden's cognitive decline in his book, the anchor has been strongly criticized by the right for refusing to acknowledge Biden's very apparent mental troubles during his presidency. Correct. They are just as complicit as the White House is covering up Joe Biden's cognitive decline. We didn't see it. Well, we didn't know the guy's sharp. He exercises every day. He's there. He's mentally fit. It allegedly blew all their mind during the debate. The debate was the big one for them. The debate was to realize, wow, he can't do it. They're liars. We all saw it for years. We talked about it for years. And by the way, the media talked about it behind the scenes. You want to know how I know this? Because I know some of them. I keep saying this for years. I know some of them. They all know the guy's decline was happening. Want to know how? Again, I've talked to them. The reporters knew, and they were willing not to ask about it. And there's reasons for that I've covered here. At the same event, another reporter followed up on the health reports and asked Biden about the 2024 election. Do you want to reply to any of those reports, and also to the fact that there are some Democrats who are now questioning whether you should have run for re-election in the first place? Why didn't they run against me then? The former president challenged, because I'd have beaten them. Biden added that he doesn't have any regrets about staying in the presidential race for as long as he did. Look, there's a lot going on, and I think we're in a really difficult moment, not only in American history, but in the world. I think we're in one of those inflection points in history where the decisions we make in the next little bit are going to determine what things look like for the next 20 years. I've been talking about that for a long time, and I'm very proud, but my record as president against any president at all. Jesus, dude, fucking idiot. This guy's he's so far gone. He is just so dilapidated, just barely keeping it up. Here he is.
President Biden, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You look good. You look good. Well, the prognosis is good. You know, we're working on everything. It's moving along. So I feel good.
Have you decided on your treatment options?
Yeah, we have. And they're underway, and all the folks are very optimistic.
And so you've started treatment?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Would you be willing to share what exactly that entails?
It's all a matter of taking a pill, one particular pill. And for the next 6 weeks, and then another one. The expectation is we're going to be able to beat this. It's not in any organ. It's my bones are strong. I haven't penetrated, so I'm feeling good.
So
I feel like everybody expects. I've done it all.
Man, really with those hardball questions still for the guy, huh? Hey, how you feeling? Whoa, stop traffic. How you feeling?
Because I'm loyal. I do it every damn year.
Oh, what the fuck? What the hell?
I feel like
hold on a second. If you're on audio, look at your phones at work. I don't care if the boss is breathing down your neck. What the hell was that? Look at her face. She's even like, what the fuck? She's like, dude, he got close. She's like, Joe Biden got so close to this female reporter, her eyes went cross-eyed. Anybody in the chat? Everybody saw that, right? We're going to play it again. Oh boy, are we. I can't believe that just happened. Let me smell your breath, you psycho. Like, what the fuck? I cannot believe that just happened. Hold on a second. Let me get there again. Look at that. You see how he like whipped his head around quick too. He's like, I smell you.
Everybody expects.
Look at that. Oh my. Not even a question coming out of her mouth. He's just like, I smell that.
I feel like everybody expects. I've done it all because I'm loyal. I do it every damn year. At the very beginning.
She is cross-eyed at the moment. Dude, she is so uncomfortable. She's like, oh, fuck. Oh, she's like, fuck. Oh my God. Did I not tell you there's a fucking gem in this article? I call it every time. I can't believe this. I'm sorry. I'm going to milk this for everything it's worth. You all bear with me here. What the fuck? I haven't even watched the whole clip yet. Fucking, people clench their teeth like, fuck. like you know when you're in the passenger seat and the driver's not braking in time, you're like, fuck.
I've done it all because I'm loyal. I do it every damn year. At the very beginning. Never forget my teeth. I feel like everybody didn't know what to...
Did you see her look away? She's like, what the fuck? Holy shit. If those are curious, we're only a minute in. What the fuck?
Because I'm loyal. I do it every damn year. At the very beginning. Never forget my teeth. I feel like everybody didn't know what to expect in you today, and then you get here and you're speaking powerfully. You look.
She keeps looking around, even after. She's like, did anybody just catch that shit? What the fuck was that? Watch the tail end. Not only does she make like a look around right after, but then after that, she looks around even more. Like, did anybody fucking catch that?
Never forget my teeth. I feel like everybody didn't know what to expect in you today, and then you get here and you're speaking powerfully. You look good. You're confident. What do you say to all those people? Don't count you out. Well, I say lots of luck in your senior year.
I can't believe you just watch that.
What has this been like for your family? Obviously, this is also an emotional time. This is the 10-year anniversary of your son, Bo's passing. You received this diagnosis.
Oh my God, is he cleaning off the mic? Are you shitting me right now? Oh no, it's an extra mic. I thought the guy was, because like Joe is probably like licking the, he's probably licking the mic like, I love you. Like he's probably licking it, right? Like it's an ice cream cone. He thought it was an ice cream. Joe Biden thought the microphone was an ice cream just a moment ago. That's not chocolate chip. I thought that was the monster cookie ice cream. I'm sorry.
Well, we're all optimistic about the diagnosis. Matter of fact, one of the leading surgeons in the world worked with me, and he had diagnosed the same exact thing 32 years ago. He's alive and well, doing very well. So we're optimistic. We're optimistic.
And there's also been a lot of discussion recently about your mental and physical capabilities while...
I'm so sorry. I'm still... That ice cream bit. Well, come on. That deserves a like right there. He thought the microphone was an ice cream. He starts taking a bite out of it.
While you were in office.
You can see that. I'm mentally incompetent, and I can't walk, and I could beat the hell out of both of them.
Well, do you want to reply to any of those reports, and also to the fact that there are some Democrats who are now questioning whether you should have run for re-election in the first place?
Why didn't they run against me then?
Run against me then. You know that drunk friend at the bar, right? After hours at work, you know, you're supposed to go to happy hour and have a good time. Nobody was supposed to get shit-faced. That's exactly... Why don't you fucking run against me then?
You didn't run against me then.
Do you have any regrets?
No, I don't. Look, there's a lot going on, and I think we're in a really difficult moment, not only in America, but in the world. I think they're one of those inflection points in history, where the decisions we make in the next little bit are going to determine what things look like in the next 20 years. We're talking about that for a long time, and I'm very proud. I put my record as president against any president at all. You notice that 12 of the 10 leading presidential historians pretty good up in that list, and the guy I ran against is rated in last. So we'll see.
So you had your grandson with you.
Well, look, good. Look, that's my son Bo's son. And Bo started coming here with me about the same age. So it's, you know, and he wanted to be where his dad has been and what he's doing. He just graduated.
Dude, this lady is freaking content gold. Did you see her face there? If you're on audio again, please, you get this whole segment. You have to be on your phone. You have to be watching this. Did you see her? She's like, she gives my facial expression. She goes, what the fuck? Watch it. She goes, what the fuck? Right here. Watch.
And Bo started coming.
She's like this right now.
With me about the same age.
Watch.
So it's, you know,
she's like this.
He wanted to be where his dad has been and what he's doing.
Did you see that? The side eye? The fuck? Did you see it? Did everybody catch that? Watch the quick side eye. She goes, what the fuck?
Dad has been and what he's doing.
Right there.
Graduated from high school and gone off to college in the fall. And I'm really proud of him. He is the son of his father.
Do you have anything to say to...
He starts laughing. Look at this fucking guy. I am having way too much fun.
To the press secretary about...
Look at, she's still, what the fuck is happening? Oh. Thank you, Lord, for allowing us this type of reporting. After the atrocity of an article we had to read about the children, he has blessed us with laughter and with happiness, and I'm thankful for that. I am very, very thankful. Oh, God, that was better than... I'm sorry, I milked that for everything it was worth, because that was way better than I ever thought it would be. That was incredible. That was incredible. Nice job, Joe. And shout out to that reporter for making the facial expressions, because that just made it everything. That was perfect. Well, with that being said, we're going to end it there, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to be back here tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for more of the news. We're going to keep you updated on TikTok and YouTube Shorts with videos on what is going on with Russia. So if you're not subscribed to me, you're not going to be able to see that stuff. All the links to everything is in the description below. Would love for you to join me over on TikTok, X, Rumble, YouTube, we're everywhere, so that you're getting the most up-to-date news on what the heck's going on out there in the ether. With that being said, should we raid somebody is the question. Yeah, let's raid somebody. As you're aware, people get all giddy when we raid them. And I think we're one of the few content creators that actually does it. So let's raid somebody really quick. And I will choose relatively quickly who we're going to raid. Unless you guys know somebody faster than I do. But I think it's important to do this because not only does it grow our community, but it also supports the other communities out there. And I'm not sending you to the voice of rural America. I saw your guys' comments saying that he was boring. So I will send you over to somebody else here in un momento. Man, there's really nobody live. I'll send you over to Sean's channel. We love Sean here, and Sean treats us well. Patriots, I'm sending... Oh, that ain't going to work for you. Let's go over to Rumble. There we go. Take care, Patriots. Appreciate you. Have a nice day. Love you guys. Bye.